All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to another offline segment. I really appreciate you guys watching another offline video. I'm sorry, I know you guys prefer the stream segments, but you know, we gotta keep on busting out these off-stream segments till I've got internet. But moving on into what we're gonna be discussing today, I woke up this morning and I got on my computer and I checked Twitter, I checked social media, and one of the first things I see, one of the first things I hear about today just absolutely fills my heart with joy. I don't know how this is going to go. I've honestly purposefully withheld any information about it from myself so I can sort of learn about it and react to it on stream with you guys. But this is what I saw. Prepare yourselves. Trump says he expects to be arrested Tuesday as New York law enforcement prepares for possible indictment. Trump's had a lot of legal trouble in the past, but he tends to kind of, get out of it every time, so we'll see how this goes for him. Former President Donald Trump said Saturday he expects to be arrested in connection with the years-long investigation into a hush money scheme involving adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Wow, we're going far back for this. Damn, this is all the way from back then. This is coming back to bite him. And called on his supporters to protest any such move to arrest him. In a social media post, Trump, referring to himself, said the leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States will be arrested on Tuesday of next week, though he did not say why he expects to be arrested. His team said after Trump's post that it had not received any notifications from prosecutors. CNN's John Miller reported Friday that meetings have been going on throughout the week among city, state, and federal law enforcement agencies in New York City about security preparations for a possible indictment of Trump. Trump may also, considering that nothing has been put out publicly about this until Trump made it public, Trump could get in trouble for even putting that out on his site, Truth Social. And an echo of Trump's appeal to supporters in the wake of the 2020 presidential election, we're talking the January 6th insurrection here, he called Saturday for action, writing, "Protest, take our nation back." He's calling for another coup attempt, by the way. That's what he's doing. He's calling for another insurrection. The former president has been agitating for his team to get his base riled up and believes that an indictment should be able or would help him politically. I honestly think that's possible. I think that this indictment could help him politically. Right now, the way that things are going, it seems like a lot of conservatives and conservative-leaning people see legal, repercussions for breaking the law as, witch hunts. They've been convinced it's witch hunts. Andrew Tate's been in prison for 5 months now, I think it's been, for sex trafficking and rape and stuff like that. And they're still chanting to free him. Multiple people briefed on the matter told CNN, "Any indictment of the former president who is running for re-election in 2024 would mark a historic first and quickly change the political conversation around an already divisive figure. While Trump has an extensive history of civil litigation both before and after taking office, a criminal charge would represent a dramatic escalation of his legal woes as he works to recapture the White House. Another witness is expected to testify Monday before the grand jury investigating the hush money payments, according to a source familiar with the investigation. It is not clear whether this would be the final witness before it votes on a possible indictment. Trump's legal team has been anticipating that an indictment will happen soon and has been preparing behind the scenes for the next steps." Joe Tacopina, an attorney for Trump, later said the former president had based his claims on press reports. "No one tells us anything, which is very frustrating. President Trump is basing his response on press reports," Tacopina said in a statement to CNN. Oh, it's from press reports? Okay, in that case, then maybe he won't get in trouble. A spokesperson for Trump said earlier Saturday that the former president has not received a notification from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office regarding any potential indictment, but was rightfully highlighting his innocence in his post. That's the quote. Previewing a potential line of defense from Republicans on Capitol Hill, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a California Republican, tweeted Saturday that any potential indictment of the former president would represent an outrageous abuse of power from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. No shit. All of Trump's lackeys are saying that any move for Trump to face justice is bad? Mike Pence, though, who served as vice president under Trump, echoed McCarthy's message on Saturday. Well, like many Americans, I'm taken aback, Pence told Breitbart News in a radio interview. The former vice president claimed the Manhattan District Attorney's investigation reeks of political prosecution. Dude, his fans literally had effigies of you and were like burning them and guillotining them outside the way. Okay, whatever. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office declined to comment on Saturday. The protest call reminiscent of January 6th comments. Trump has complained privately that he believes he is going to be indicted. Holy shit. I caught a typo in a CNN politics article. How do I get them to fix it? He is going to being indicted. Good one. That he will be indicted only because he thinks Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg hates him, according to a source familiar with what Trump has said. Wait, is it possible that he's not even being indicted and this is just Trump being paranoid? Because he thinks the district attorney, hates him and has something out for him? His call for a protest in response to a potential arrest echoes his final days in office, when he repeatedly argued his supporters to reject the results of the 2020 presidential election, culminating in the deadly January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Some of Trump's advisors had urged him privately not to call for protests, concerned about the optics of a mass protest in the streets of Manhattan growing out of control or resembling the 2021 insurrection. Another witness scheduled to testify on Monday. Trump's defense team is expected to be notified following any possible indictment, and then they would engage in negotiations for surrender and an initial appearance. Another witness is expected to testify Monday before the grand jury investigating the hush money payments, according to a source familiar with the investigation. It is not clear whether this would be the final witness before it votes on a possible indictment. Trump's team has said repeatedly that he will not accept an invitation to testify before the grand jury. Of course he won't. But multiple sources familiar with his legal team's thinking says that if there is an indictment, he would negotiate an agreed-upon surrender date with the district attorney's office. Trump's team has been huddled all week planning for various scenarios, including Trump traveling to New York, as well as having a remote hearing where he stays at Mar-a-Lago, according to sources familiar with the meetings. Some members of his legal team are advising Trump to ask for a remote appearance for security reasons should an indictment occur, but it is unclear if he would agree to that, as he has also discussed with his team wanting to give a statement at the courthouse, sources said. Trump is also considering hiring a new TV-friendly lawyer who can handle the outside media, sources said. The former president is known for hiring lawyers and advisors based on their TV presence and ability to defend him in the media. Yeah, it's definitely true. Two lawyers, though they're not very good at it, to be fair. Two lawyers currently involved in the Justice Department's investigations around the former president, Jim Trusty, we should call him Jim Crusty, and Christina Bobb, were brought into Trump's fold after he saw them on television. The campaign is also adding staff to focus on messaging around the potential indictment, a detail first reported by the New York Times. Whew! This goes on for a little bit longer. The law enforcement talks continue. Law enforcement discussions have been about how to navigate the potential indictment for a criminal charge by a New York County grand jury and the choreography around the possibility of an unprecedented arrest of a former president. Should he be indicted, the former president is expected to surrender and go through the process of being processed and arraigned at the courthouse, which includes fingerprinting and mugshot, a source familiar with the matter told CNN. However, there could be some accommodations to expedite how quickly Trump is processed and how long he is in the building, the source said. For example, the source explained, officials could try to get him in front of a judge immediately. The New York Police Department did not immediately respond to CNN's inquiry following Trump's post on Saturday, but New York City law enforcement sources told CNN that security for a possible indictment against Trump was discussed as part of the NYPD daily briefing Saturday morning, and that social media is being monitored daily for any threats. So it looks like this is happening. Law enforcement sources know that Trump has a loyal following and they're taking a wait-and-see approach. One source told CNN, they don't They don't yet know how many people could be planning on showing up in Manhattan this week, but officials are monitoring the situation. A more detailed security briefing is slated for Monday. Trump's U.S. Secret Service detail would deliver him the Manhattan District Attorney's office for fingerprinting and then taking mugshots in offices of the District Attorney's Detective Squad. As is customary in cases where a defendant is allowed to voluntarily surrender, after arrest processing, the former president would be brought directly to arraignment before a judge where he would likely be released on his own recognizance. Sorry, I'm very bad at that word. God, it's gonna be weird having, like, Secret Service with all that, right? Because, like, he is Secret Service for life. So he just has a Secret Service agent or 12 that are just kind of, like, never allowed to be very far from him. So they're just going to be in the room there, in the court. They're going to be, like, there with him in questioning. Like, that's going to be kind of weird. I mean, I imagine it'd be a comfort to him, but still. Law enforcement officials who are privy to the discussion said several concerns have been discussed in the planning process, including courthouse security and the potential for demonstrators or rallies outside of the courthouse by Trump supporters or counter-demonstrators by anti-Trump protesters, with the risk of the two groups clashing. God, if it's a courthouse with a court event happening, can you imagine? Oh my fucking God. The Trump supporters will break the door down. Like, the amount of craziness that happened during, like, the Capitol riots would be nothing compared to if Trump was in the courthouse being indicted, and there was, like, there'd have to be an army of cops outside. It would be it'd be a full-on attack on that courthouse building. They'd have to shut the entire city down. It'd have to be in, like, a remote courthouse in the middle of nowhere, you know? But yeah, we're gonna have to follow this story. That's really all I can say. Trump supporters are fanatic and insane. They are high enough in number to do some serious damage. And if they follow through with what he has directly requested they do, and to be clear, they did January 6th on, like, him vaguely saying to do January 6th. Like, he encouraged them to do January 6th, but he didn't outright tell them to do it. Now he's outright telling them to do an insurrection. So there's, like, the people who think, like, the storm is coming and they just need to wait for the signal from Trump. If the January 6th event wasn't there, like, didn't do it for him, this will. Whew, we're gonna have to follow this story. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more from me and you want to help me get some internet in here so I can stream again, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon, follow my social medias linked down below, and maybe even, you know, support me financially a little extra through the sources that you can find in the description below as well. But with all that said, no matter how you support me, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.